What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. I want to talk about a term that we've heard a lot. Some people may even um, be guilty of being in the embodiment of this particular term, and that's the term control freak. We hear that a lot in different aspects of life, and I just want to talk to that subject because a lot of us are guilty of that. And some are victims. Some of us are victims of control freaks in our life. Um, I guess the first aspect I can talk about would be from a relationship standpoint. You have people who are in relationships with people and they instantly try to dictate and take power over every facet of the other person's life. They want to determine where this person goes, who this person talks to, who this person sees, what they do. And that's a disorder. That's a sickness that you have in your mind and an insecurity that you have when you feel as though you are the owner of another human being and that every detail of their life has to go through you and be approved by you. You are, in fact, a control freak. That's something obsessive in your own mind. And we've seen it a lot. You see people get married, man, and then all of a sudden they're not even allowed to communicate with their own family anymore. Their mamas, daddies, friends, they just are cut off from their loved ones by this one individual who decides for them that the only person you need to be in contact with is me. And if I choose to let you, if I throw you a bone and say, okay, you can talk to your mama today, then a lot of times they standing right over you. Then they decide it's like being in jail. Okay, time to get off the phone. So those are some of the things you got to look out for when you're dealing with a significant other. And in the cases I'm speaking of, a lot of times it's a male doing that to a female because, of course, with a male being more physically stronger than the female, he's able to impose a physical will on her that would allow him to get away with that more so than a female doing it to a male, even though you see a lot of females do it as well because it's just that the manipulation, the mind control aspect of it kicks in then. So because not only is the person who's the control freak, not only are they insecure, a lot of cases the person who's being controlled is insecure for allowing that to happen in the first place. Look, you're a free human being. You are not um, subjected. You shouldn't be subjected to fall under uh, ownership to somebody else. That's not love. That's not a person doesn't love you if they tell you you can't talk to your mom. Because they're trying to keep other people out of your ear that may sway you against the negative things that you are presenting to them. And just that very premise of controlling them. Because somebody's always in the family going to step up and say, why you let him do that to you? Why you let him do this? Why you let her treat you this way? And that's what they don't want. Now another aspect of control freak, it could come just in a workplace, in a work environment, a situation where there's a person who may be in a position of power and authority, a manager, supervisor, whatever the case might be, and they just micromanage, looking over your shoulder, always um, over critiquing what you're doing. They don't trust your ability to get the job done. You get something done, they move you out the way. Let me do it. Let me do it. They always feel as though your job is not sufficient or adequate enough. They feel as though if they are not the ones to do it, or if they are not the ones who oversee the doing of it, then it's not going to be right. That's another version of a control freak. Those people are they have a different kind of obsession, but it's an obsession nonetheless. If you don't trust a person to do a job, then you shouldn't hire that person to do a job. But you have people who ain't even in authority. Some people are on the same level and they looking over, jumping in your mix, and it's like, dude, you do the same thing I do. We're on the same level. It's just something that they have in them. So we got to be wary of that, and we got to make sure that we are not the ones who are doing it to somebody. You know, and you may not be aware of it, but in most cases, I can't give you a pass because in most cases you are aware of it. You know exactly what you're doing because a lot of people who fall into those categories, they're real manipulative. They're real slick and smooth in how they do it and how they operate, and they know who to come at and who not to come at. They know when to do it, when to act this way, and when not to act that way. So I can't give you a pass and say you may not be aware. Maybe on smaller levels, but on the big levels, you know what you're doing. But make sure you're not the person doing it, and make sure you're not the person that's being victimized by it, by that type of control freak, because again, that's an insecurity that you have. You're feeling as though you may not be worthy of fair and equal treatment, and you are. It's like, man, who's this cat? Who's this person to say that they're the only ones who can decide what you do and how you move in life? You have to put more faith in your creator and more faith in your own abilities than putting the faith in this individual who might not have your best interest at heart. If a person is controlling you like that, they don't have your best interest at heart. That's something you got to understand. So keep those things in mind as you move forward. I want all of y'all to be as free and as expanded as possible in your movements and in your life, and nothing restrictive taking place in your life, or nothing restrictive holding you down, and no person. See, if a tree is created by God, if the grass, if the wind, if the birds, these things are lesser intelligent creations that are fully operating on their natural nature to just be free. If those things are exercising in their nature like that, then how are you, the more intelligent being, the most intelligent creature that God created, how are you allowing yourself to be owned and enslaved by someone who actually is inferior to you? Because inferior to you because they are even attempting to do that. They want to keep you close to. They want to keep you. Nah, you're bigger than that. Think about how the universe works. So at the end of the day, man, that's what I wanted to impart to y'all. I wish y'all the best. Don't be a control freak, and don't be controlled by a freak. It's your big brother K-Rino. All right, man. One love to y'all. Peace.